of that video was a little grainy. However, did you guys hear the whole thing? Did you hear how it went down?
I mean, I heard the gist of it. Like, there's a glass there with lipstick on it, and they're trying to figure out why the glass is
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
there.
I was on mute. I'm sorry. But I couldn't hear Steve that well. I mean, I guess he's trying to make excuses for why the glass was there. Was he doing that?
That's
He
what
said
it
he
seemed
didn't.
to me.
He
Yeah.
said he didn't care.
However, excuse me. However, I think that a lot of men, if you, and this is my,
Here we go. Here we go.
for men, I believe that if you can't prove it, it didn't happen.
That's right.
If you,
That's exactly right.
if you can't come up with some hard evidence, it didn't happen. A glass could be there, two glasses could be there. You know, a whole thong could be on there.
Let me tell you, my woman, back in the day, your woman could catch you in bed and you could say, it wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't.
And I'm gonna give y'all an example. This is my personal life, right? I was dating a guy and he got up really early to go to work.
Okay.
And so one morning he got up and I got up too, but I didn't get up. Like I just stayed there and kind of had my eyes open. So the room was kind of like dimly lit, right? And so my phone was on a charger away from the bed, and I saw him go pick up my phone, and like I don't know what he did with my phone, but he went through my phone or whatever. And so I didn't say anything then. Like he's going to work, I'm still in the bed. I'm not going to make a ruckus at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was like, I saw you go through my phone. Like, is everything okay? Like, were you looking for something? I didn't go through your phone. I said, I saw you with my own 2 eyes. He's like, no, I didn't. I didn't do anything with your phone. He thought I was asleep. Like he really thought that I was knocked out. But it's like, why lie? Like, why lie about something that I told you that I saw with my own 2 eyes?
Well, let me ask you, did you let it go or did you keep hitting on him until you admitted?
No, I didn't keep hitting on him until he admitted because I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
No. When I say hit, just figuratively, did you keep at it until you admitted it?
Bring it up. No, again, because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I just
so you didn't need him to say you didn't need him to say he did or not. You just wanted to see if he tell you the truth.
Right. Like, is there a conversation we need to have? Like, again, is there something that you're looking for? Is there something I can help you with?
So how heavy was the lie? How heavy did you carry that lie? I mean, obviously you still remember it now. So how did that weigh on your relationship with the
guy? I mean, we still dated, after that. And then eventually we did break up. He was a lot older than me. And he was like the first guy that I dated that was a lot older than me.
Oh, okay.
And so it didn't end because of that one thing or whatever. However, this is where women lie to themselves because I should have ended it when he said he didn't go through my phone and I saw him go through my phone. Like, you know what I mean? I think that, and I know what you're saying, Arpain, like, did you harp on it? No, I didn't harp on it. But there are certain things that come up. There are certain situations that happen that we will be like, you know what, I guess it was just, something that happened at the time. And we do give the benefit of the doubt, or we do give a chance, or we do forgive, whatever the situation is. But it is clear, very clear in our faces what the situation is.
Right.
And we take it very lightly, or we, shrug it off as if it was just happenstance. But yeah, in that video with Steve Harvey, there's a glass with lipstick stains on it. And it is very easy to say, and I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm not saying that he's lying. However, what I'm alluding to is things like that turn into these things, kind of what Arpain was saying. As a woman, she sees, that's what she's seeing. That is what's being, shown to her. As a man, is it about trying to get her to believe a certain thing? Or as a woman, do you have to know the substance of the person that you're with?
I mean, if I, it's funny if that was my situation and my wife, or even if it was a girlfriend at the time, I wouldn't even have tried to lie. I said, I was sitting here waiting for you. Honey sat down. We had a drink. That's probably what I would have said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if she's not there no more, I mean, what the hell? Nobody, we're not going to get into without our conversation. I was sitting down, and she sat down. I gave her a drink. So that's why. I mean, if the lipstick was on my collar, that's one thing. But if it's on a damn glass, I was just being personable.
Yeah, like, how do you know? Like, how does a person know that that wasn't your coworker? You could be assuming things, and that's where people get into arguments they don't need to be into.
But if it's a woman, though, right? 3M, whether it was your coworker or not, what difference? If it's a different woman other than your woman doesn't care if she's your coworker, if it's a honey. I mean, most guys, if they're going to have an affair, it's probably going to be with a coworker.
I mean, regardless of that, like, when he says his coworker, why can't she just believe that? Why can't she just go with that? Instead of
yeah, that's a great question, because it was a woman.
Okay,
whether
that's
it's a
fine.
coworker or not, it was a woman.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying? To her, I'm
respectively disagree.
But Trey, you have to be realistic, right? And thinking about women and the nature of a woman. The nature, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the nature of a woman, and it happened all the way back in the garden. The nature of a woman is to want to know whether it's the truth, whether you got proof, whether no matter what it is, he just wants to know. Right? And so knowing that is the nature of a woman, as a man going in, sitting there at that table in your mind, hindsight's 2020. Okay. So sitting there in your mind, you should be thinking, when she walks up to this table, what is she going to want to know?
Man, I hear you. But let me add something to what you just said. Women want to know, but do they actually always want to know the truth?
Well, we're going to get to a video.
Okay. That's another thing. So
we'll play that one next, sir. You're right. That women want to know, but do you want to know the truth?
Right.
And then past, do you want to know the truth? I've told you the truth. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's why I always say a lot of people lie to themselves. A lot of people lie to themselves out of fear, out of rejection, out of loneliness, out of that maybe financial security. People will lie to themselves, and they will get this paralysis of moving forward or moving on, that they just stay in the situation that they're in because that's the devil that they know.
Right.
So in that video, it's like that man could very well be telling the truth. He very well could be telling the truth. But what the truth and what it looks like, and like Steve said, he said, look, the waitress could have been clearing off the table and left that glass there and had to come back for it. That could be a story as well. But we have to go off of what it looks like, and keep in mind that women are creatures who want to know.
Yeah, that's fine.
We are creatures who want to know. And so, when you have videos, because like 3 a.m. said, people assume all the time. That happens all day, every day. It's not isolated. Why you look at her like that? Why'd you talk to him like that? Why'd you like that video? And it's a lot of assumption. And we have to be able to know each other's nature, but also know each other as well. Because if she knows that, does she know the coworkers? Does she know who he worked with? Does he talk about them? Does he go out with them often? I know me and my coworkers, They're always looking for a time. Look, you free on the 13th? We're gonna go out for drinks after work. And it's a consistent thing to keep that culture going. But is that a consistent thing for him? So I think, before people assume in their relationship, you have to not see red first and really read the situation for exactly what it is.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, we're gonna get into this video because our pain summoned it. And it's only from our good old
Ooh. We'll see when we get there. Okay.
Hold on. Our good old tonight's conversation.
Doesn't want to hurt you or leave you.
Hold on now. Getting too far deep in already.
What do you do when a man you love tells you that he knows you're a good woman, but he doesn't want to hurt you or leave you?
Run.
I mean, fast.
Listen, I love this. I love when I tell you how I'm going to fuck you up and you mistake it for vulnerability. I love it when I tell you my sob story about how I fucked up, how I can't show up, and you take this disclaimer and you ignore it so that when I don't do the things that you need, when I fall short, when I break your heart, when I break your soul, I can look at you and I can say, well, I already told you I would. And now it ain't my fault no more. It's yours. Because I gave you the choice and you stood here. I guess
I'm gonna stop it right there. He says it's not my fault anymore, it's yours. Do you guys believe that?
Oh yeah, okay, let's go back to what she said again. She said what he said to her in the beginning. With her part. I just want to hear what she said again.
A man she loves.
What do you do when a man you love tells you that he knows you're a good woman, but he doesn't want to hurt you or leave you?
Well,
man. He doesn't want to hurt you or leave you. The fact is that he's sticking around because he thinks that if he leaves, he's going to hurt you. Is that what that? Because putting those two together is kind of wow. He doesn't want to hurt you or leave you. So is he trying to say that if he leaves her, he knows he's going to hurt her, or something like that? It sounds like that, but.
Well, okay, so let's break it down. She said, what do you do when a woman,
she loves him, right?
Tells you that you're a good woman,
right? Okay,
and he doesn't want to hurt you or leave you. Okay, so what I'm hearing from that is you're a good woman.
Okay,
I don't even know what to do with you. That's what that sounds like. I don't know what to do with you. I don't want to leave you alone, but I also don't know how to be here in a capacity for you because maybe I've never dealt with a good woman, or maybe I've never dealt with someone like you, whoever she is. I don't know the exact situation, but that's what I hear.
Okay, so let me take another stab at it then. So after all of that, when he says, I don't want to hurt you, if he would have just stopped there, right? I know you're a good woman. I don't want to hurt you. If a man tells a woman that's a red flag. That he's going to try.
He's going to hurt.
I think that is actually a green flag. Let me know.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm gonna do whatever I can do to not to hurt you because you're a good woman. I'm not going to hurt you. And then he says, or leave you.
Right. So if he stays. Okay.
All right, so when he says or leave you, because those two things going together sounds kind of crazy to me. Well, one is he's kind of acknowledging that if he leaves her, he's going to hurt her.
Well, some men like they can't get eaten too. They could benefit off of something that they're not truly ready for, and they're benefiting in it in some type of capacity. But they also and they don't want to leave that behind or give it up or whatever the case may be. But they also can't really live up to what the woman probably truly wants or desires. He should just, like you said, should have just said, I love you and you're a great woman. But
see, and so if he would have said, and I'm with you now, but he used the word hurt. He said, listen, if he says you're a good woman. And I can't give you all the things you need or want, but I don't want to leave you either. That makes more sense.
That's not what he said, though.
I know that's not what he said, but that would make sense to me. He's sticking around because he doesn't want to hurt her, but he knows he can't. He's coming up short. I think what Ace Metaphor said kind of projected that the man came up short. And I'm saying, if he tells a woman, I don't want to hurt you and I don't want to leave you, Ace Metaphor turned that into a red flag based on his response.
So someone said, well, they said run, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a red flag because he can't be direct with you. There is no progression from that. Like you said, it seems like an oxymoron kind of. If you know, if you're dealing in confusion, you're not really dealing in a relationship that's really going to thrive, because there is really no set point, there's no plan, there's no, it's I love you, and you know, you're a great woman, I don't want to leave you, but I don't really know. Like, I had a guy tell me, like, I have my issues, and you know, I know it's not fair to you. Bye. Like, you're telling me that you know,
I can see that makes sense.
You know you have issues, but he also, men are not going to want to leave a woman alone, whether she's a good woman, no matter what it is. Like, he's not going to. Men aren't necessarily like that, where a woman will walk away. Look at the divorce rate. Like, men are not going to walk away. They will just deal with you when they deal with you, how they deal with you. And so women do have to say, if you're telling me this, you're telling me the truth. You're telling me the truth. Although I love you and I don't want this to end, I don't want our experience and our journey together to end, women have to put a hard stop. Those are the behaviors that women have to, you know, you're hearing a man be confused with you. He's not giving you any clear direction. He's not giving you any clear goals. He's not telling you that, you know, I see X, Y, and Z in the future with you. He's not giving you anything to work with. And so when someone doesn't give you something to work with, you have nothing to work with. So what do we work with?
Well, okay. So like I said, I hear you, and I can't say I disagree. I mean, it's 3M if you have something to add. All I'm saying is that could just be a beginning of a conversation. I love that, you know, I don't want to hurt you and leave you. And then you can say, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, if it's a woman, if we're having a conversation, the next step would be, if she's confused, what do you mean by that? And if he's, you know, scrambling because he can't answer what he really means, then I can understand all the red flags. But if a man tells a woman you don't want to hurt her, I don't see how that becomes a red flag. If he says, I don't want to leave you, if those two things were separate,
I don't know.
You're a good woman, and I don't want to leave you. Maybe that has a connotation that, you know, he's only sticking around because you're a good woman, but he doesn't really want to be there. I can think that. You could extrapolate that out.
Say those exact words for that to be it.
Well, I mean, but then, or else you're reading that into the words. If Ace Metaphor read a whole soliloquy into those words, right? So I'm just saying, you know, it could be that a guy, we're not even supposed to be emotionally intelligent. We can't communicate. So most women think we're idiots. So you give them a benefit of doubt. What do you mean by that? And see if you could extract, you know, because. But I'm not saying the way you're interpreting it or Ace Metaphor is interpreted is wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you can't really make a final judgment on that particular statement. Even the lady saying it, I would have asked her, well, what do you think he means by that? That's what I would have asked her.
And that to broaden the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I would have asked her. I need more information. Because when a man tells a woman, I don't want to hurt you, I don't see how that could be negative. You know, and
I mean, you're a man, so you know you don't deal with men. And I think that sometimes
I deal with women. If I told a woman I don't want to hurt her,
right, but you don't deal with what comes from men. Like you don't deal with the stories or the comebacks or like, you know what I mean, the flirtatious. Like you don't deal with that from men.
No, of course not.
With two women. And so sometimes when women hear that, you give me a positive and you tell me that I'm a good woman. And then right after you say you don't want to hurt me. Okay. Now we all live in this real life experience. At some point, I'm probably going to get hurt, whether it's intentional or not. I don't think people intentionally go in saying I'm gonna hurt you. Like, you know what I mean? So for a man to say those and that's another thing.
What?
You know, there are men that will go in and be like, I'll never cheat on you. Like certain phrases to
Yeah.
me are just like, why you had to say that? Like,
Yeah.
why is that something that you feel like you had to say?
That's so
Like,
funny when you
it's
say
crazy
that.
how men omit certain things.
Well, okay, so a man saying to his woman, I'll never cheat on you is a red flag too.
I don't think that that's something that needs to be said, because you know why? For
Why
women,
not?
women want to know. Okay,
And
again,
so he told you I'm not going to cheat on you.
right? But how does she know that you're really not gonna? That you're really not gonna cheat on
Oh, come on now, you put the guy in the box. So we can't express positive affirmations that, hey honey, you my girl.
No, and
And you don't have to worry about me because I'm not going to cheat on you. And you're going to take that as a red flag?
what I'm gonna say is, when you love someone, yes, you want to love them for their future. But the
Okay.
reality is, you got to love me right now in this present moment, because we don't know what the future is going to hold. So your present actions, your present nature, who you are, will tell me that you won't cheat on me. You don't have to come out and say, I'm not going to cheat on you.
I'm hearing you.
It's
My
like
wife.
somebody say, I'm going on a diet, I ain't gonna have a burger, and then in a month and a half, you got a burger, extra pickles, you know, some
two
ketchup,
patties.
mustard, and relish. Like your fleshly desires are gonna be stronger than the words that you say to me. So I would rather we deal with that fleshly desire when it comes up than you having me, you know, trying to put me in some la la land that we don't need to deal with the
So if my woman came up to me and said, husband or boyfriend or Rich, I'll never cheat on you, I should automatically think she's got banged out the night before. Is that what I'm thinking?
You should take it with a grain of salt.
Okay. All right. I hear you. So because she's saying it to me just to try to put me in a place where I'm disarmed, maybe, or something like that. So that's what. Okay.
That's not a statement that that's not a statement that you make not knowing what the future is going to hold. I just don't think that you should make a statement like that. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be your desire to not cheat. Of course you should not want to cheat.
No, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
Makes it look a little sus, like old girl said.
That's so funny though. I was sitting down. We used to have lunch together, like when I was working. We had a nice little chocolate honey was from England. She had a boyfriend back home. He was cheating, and she was talking. We were all at the table, and she was saying like she thinks he's cheating. I didn't have nothing to do with her, but we all ate lunch together. And I looked at her right now. I said, "If you were my girl, I'd never cheat on you." And the look she gave me was priceless. I said, "If you were my girl, I would never cheat on you."
Oh my
God. That shit was funny. When you mentioned that, it's funny.
Yeah, it's just like and what'd you say it for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what exactly did you say it for?
Just to dig it in,
make her feel better.
Just to let her know that there's men out there who would appreciate her.
Yeah, but you don't know her. You know her from lunch break.
I said it so I can have some fun with her, just to see her reaction.
See,
it was priceless.
That's why I won't believe it, because that like.
Yeah, because like, why do you have to like? I've never actually said that to anybody I was in a relationship with.
Yeah, I'm with
you. Even getting to know them, I won't say that. I'll never cheat on you. Like, that ain't even something that come up in conversation for me, from my side. Like, that if you bring that in, they automatically think, oh, you must got somebody on the side, or you must got a roster that as soon as something go wrong, you're gonna go to one of your side pieces. But I want to go back to the actual how it was written, and I agree that it was not written correctly or properly in the right context, or they could have actually said, they could have been like, okay, thank you for your question, but like, can you tell us why this came up, or why you're asking this question? Like, what led to this? Or because it's so vague. Like,
Coach,
I think it's vague because I don't know.
Because we're men.
Women, I don't know.
No, but you can't.
The response from men that a woman would get, and so y'all don't think nothing of it. It's just like, why? I
No,
don't understand. Like, it doesn't go hand in hand. It doesn't flow.
but you're asking us, right? Like, so you're asking our opinion, right? So,
Yeah.
when I listened to the way she read it, first of all, he lifted her up and he said, you're a good woman. But then he said, I don't want to hurt you. Like, it seemed like he already had the intention of hurting her, but he's letting her know all the good qualities she has, but also he doesn't want to hurt you. So it sounds like he's already thinking about it.
Okay.
I mean, you can say okay all you want. I'm just giving you my opinion.
I'm with you.
I don't care about your okays.
I mean, your opinion is your opinion. I think that, I think that could be the case too. That's the thing with these handwritten questions, you don't know, and that's why when we do these reactions and talk about these behaviors, we have to like really talk about what is actually in the video, because we don't know. We don't know all the extra, stuff at all. So
No, I was just saying that they could have asked, for them hosting the show, they could have at least asked like for some context. I mean, I don't think that would have hurt in that way.
Do.
Yeah. It was like they just let her read it and then they just jumped right into it. They didn't
Yeah,
they
but
didn't do anything.
Hi, Coach Ferg. How are you?
What's up, Coach?
What's up, Miss Precious? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on?
Good. Y'all looking nice and shiny. Our paint fading out in the black.
I know.
We're good, though.
All right, I'm gonna play it again so Coach Ferg can hear.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay.
When a man you love tells you that he knows you're a good woman, but he doesn't want to hurt you or leave you.
Run.
I mean, fast.
Listen, I love this. I love when I tell you how I'm gonna fuck you up and you mistake it for vulnerability. I love it when I tell you my sob story about how I fucked up, how I can't show up, and you take this disclaimer and you ignore it so that when I don't do the things that you need, when I fall short, when I break your heart, when I break your soul, I can look at you and I can say, well, I already told you I would. And now it ain't my fault no more. It's yours. Because I gave you the choice and you stood here. I guess what I'm trying to say is when a man tell you how he gonna fuck you up, believe him. But I'm gonna tell you, a man know who. Listen, a man know. Yes. Because I'm gonna tell you this. You don't think that potentially toxic man ain't been toxic all his life? And he has learned this is my best way to get you to trust me. This is a game that he's playing. Because here's the thing, a man that actually cared about you would leave you alone.
That's it, crazy.
But he's only telling you this because he wants to draw you closer. This is the bait he's using and you taking it. How many of y'all have taken that bait? Not believing a man when he tells you who he is. How many women in his room wish they would have got that warning that you would keep ignoring? Because you like him. And guess what you hear? A man to tell you he ain't ready. Guess what you add to it? Yet. Because you feel like you the yet. I don't know if I can love right. And you say, that's because you ain't met me. Quit adding sentences. It's a period, not a comma. And because you keep adding comments, this is why you keep breaking your own heart. I guess what I'm saying is, when a man shows you who he is, anybody else?
I believe that was scripted for him to do that. He sounded like he was reading a sermon in church. He sounded just like the preacher.
That's him. That's how he
So he took the church. He took the scripture out of the church and put the community is what I see, right? Because again, don't y'all want a man to communicate to y'all, Miss Precious, that I ain't really rocking with you, but y'all love you, and I don't want to hurt you? Or would
That's
you
enough
just
communication for me to say goodbye. Thank
hold
you.
up? Or would you just rather me let you see me out with Bonquisha? Which one you want?
No, the communication is fine, but you also the communication is absolutely fine. I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with what he communicated, but I think that there are women who get caught up in well, he wants to be here. Like they get caught up in the possibility of what he's not saying.
Miss Precious, we've been together in relationship. We ain't married. We just relationshiping it for the last 15 years. Got 2 slow ass kids, right? So we've been just going together, playing child's games, right? And I'm looking for something different. You want to just be boyfriend and girlfriend and go out and, I'm just giving the picture that I see this type of stuff. She should be lucky, right? Because again, I'm sure this guy was paying the bills while we playing. So he don't want to just say, hey, look, I'm ready to go. But again, the way he's putting it, he just automatically jumped on the man when the man is clearly giving a woman what they say they want. No matter how soothing it is or no matter how harsh it's going to be, if it's real, you got to respect that. You got to respect that. But again, the church, it ain't, he got 2 options. Had a conversation. If you don't want to be there, if the kids are old enough, do it with the kids. You can't do it separate. You got to sit the kids down. They old enough.
What kids, Coach Ferg? What you talking?
Well, if they teenagers, if the teenagers, when I say kids, I mean teenagers. A teenager's a kid to me. Sit down, say, look, me and mama ain't gonna be together. So, but just so you think you're gonna start acting up in school, doing dumb shit in the community, daddy gonna be here. But if you do it, I'm gone. Where daddy? I don't know. If I get him. Now she mad, start isolating the kids, talking. It's a whole lot can go wrong with that. And she ain't no dime piece. Let's admit. She looked, and I'm ugly. But hey, she wasn't no chosen lot back in her prime. So to have a man there, and I'm gonna shut up right here, Precious. And this is crazy that I saw this video like, She needs to have a talk with him and find out what he's looking for.
There you go.
If she doesn't have that conversation, it could turn ugly. She needs to find out, because men don't just come to a woman and say, hey, look, I love you, but it ain't working. Dudes are either go just like, man, I'm out of here. She don't want that. He came to her like the woman say, they on 2 sides of their brain. Sometimes they say it's like almond joy. Sometimes they got nuts. Sometimes they don't. Because he was honest. He came to her. That's much respect.
Right, but honesty also
ain't nothing but honesty is honesty. It ain't got nothing to do with how you feel, how you see it. I'm honest about it. Now you go cry in your pillow, come back. Well, why? Because women like to ask why a lot, but can't even see a why. I'm not saying you, Precious, your peers. Your peers.
But I'm saying, I don't understand. You know, even if someone is telling you the truth, yes, women do want communication, right? It's great that he communicated and didn't just leave. But at the end of the day, even with you communicating with someone, that person on the other end still has the ability to choose.
Oh, hold up. But she's choosing, right? Because she's brought her choice to the audience for her empathy to say he's the bad guy because he did what women are asking. Communication. Talk to me. Hey, baby, look.
He's the bad guy for communicating that to her. She didn't say that.
I didn't say that. She brought it to the audience. What did the little short guy do with the tight pants? The first thing he did was jump on the man. The man was bad. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let Father John just tell you he don't want you, and then he's trying to help cheat on you. He's trying to manipulate. No, he did what he's supposed to do. Is all I'm saying.
Thank you, Coach. Your
That's
answer
all I'm
is
saying.
really good. I agree.
He was giving her truth, and people
agree.
don't like. That's why I say, Precious, all the time. I accept my ugly truth. You gotta learn how to. People gotta learn how to accept their ugly truth and roll with it. Okay, you want to go? Bye. I'm gonna cry in my pillow, but when you come around, I'm gonna be good. That's it. But allow him to access to the children that they have in it, because if she's looking at, if she leaves him and they split up over the next, I don't know when it's happened, but the ones that are going to lose out the most is the son and the daughter, because the son can be a son and be soft in life, lazy, and the daughter can be out there with her whole body showing because she ain't got no daddy around. Facts. Because the mama
So-
gonna let them do whatever.
What would you suggest if she stayed?
Have that conversation and start and have a conversation. And it ain't all about everything that you say. It's about things that you do. The conversation ain't got to be, we're going to sit down, blah, blah, blah. Black folk, we love to talk, goddammit. We're going to podcast you. We're going to talk on the phone. We love to talk. But when it comes to that, listen, baby, look. I told you my damn bunion was hurt. You ain't even want to rub it. Y'all eat up all the chicken on Thursday. I ain't even get a leg. Do the stuff that's going to make him like, man, you know what? That's my old baby right there, man. She ain't the best looking. I mean, I'm just saying how we going to speak to our boys, not to the person. She ain't the best looking, but she do for me.
If a man wants you, he wants you. If a
But
man
you gotta
wants you, he's going to tell you he wants to be with you.
So
I understand the open
he's
communication.
men are not going to tell you that much that they want to be.
I'm not going to convince you.
Men are not going to tell you that much, Precious, that they want to be with you. That dude will ride a bike over there with 100-pound weight on his shoulders. He going to show up. He going to show you. And he might tell you every now and then, bye, I love you, bye. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I see you. But guess what? He going to be there. You ain't going to have to say, hey, I need this. He done already surveyed your little apartment and be like, oh, she got all this loose shit. I'm going to come over. He's already looking at it. They in a space together. So people can't fix shit. I'm sorry, but you're in a space together. A man that's dedicated to a woman, he might not even say it 5 times. He'll never tell the kids he love them, but he gonna make sure they got the best school clothes. They showed up at the party with a gift. They having birthday parties. They doing the stuff that is not an obligation from a parent or a person. Now, what do you do in return? I don't need you to lay down for me. I like greens on Sunday. I like a meal on Sunday. I like for you to rub my back on wash my back day. You know, it's just how people show up, Precious, when you're in a relationship.
I believe that if he showed up in that capacity, she wouldn't be questioning anything. She wouldn't be on tonight's conversation asking, what should I do or how should I feel about this?
But he told her he's really relaying to her what she ain't doing. Because Precious, I'm ready to go now. That's the thing. Yes, you ain't go. I'm ready to go, Precious. I've been in this because I've been in this relationship with you, not you, but I'm seeing her, but she ain't coming back over here. She ain't talking. She ain't giving. Forget talk. She ain't. Man, I done came home 5 days, and we done got some takeout. The kids got dirty clothes in the corner. You know what I'm saying? The house should be clean. Because a man, Precious, she's talking about a man that pay the bills. A man that's gonna pay them bills.
About a man who can't be direct with her.
He was direct. He told her. Okay, so dude, listen. Tell her she's fugly, and you don't want to be with her, and see how she ruined your life.
Where does directness get her from saying you're a good woman and I don't want to leave? If you're a good woman and I don't want to leave, those actions will come in and you will show that she's a good woman and you're not leaving. Where I don't understand.
But are they not married, are they? Are they just boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, it's somebody that
married.
So
a boyfriend and girlfriend, you can go anytime. You can go anytime.
Yeah, I mean, if they were married, she would say my husband. So
Oh,
they're
she
not
ain't
married.
married. Yeah, okay. Well, I
So
listen. I
that's what
love
I'm
you.
saying.
I
Like
agree with you, but
there really is no,
I'm
what
sorry.
is a single? I mean, they're in a relationship, but at the end of the day, she's single, right? Because he
No,
did.
she in a relationship. Pressure, how can she be single?
What I'm saying
Because she ain't married, they single.
she's
Okay.
not married. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, whether they're together for a year, 2 years, 5 years, if he doesn't say, hey, I want to be in a committed relationship with you, and I see this going towards marriage, how is this woman supposed to take him seriously?
But she took him serious though. One thing I know women do, Precious, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all observe the hell out of the dude that y'all like. Y'all observe everything he do. How he wears pants, how he line his clothes up, how he put his cologne on, how he comb his hair. Y'all observe everything. And if a man is not showing up,
Again, if she observed all that and was satisfied and was happy, she wouldn't be. This wouldn't be a question for her. She wouldn't be coming to the
who
public.
do you bring the question to though? Who do you? She, like I said, she bringing the question to the church, to the congregation, to hey, he wrong. The first thing that little dude did with some red shoes on, the first thing he did was attack that man, and he didn't even know what she had done. He attacked that man because he had that speech ready. That's
ready.
a preacher. He done went through his sermon, took out all the Christian biblical words, and added his own.
Because like you don't
He
know.
could just be a host of tonight's conversation, and this is what he does.
I'm sorry, Precious, man.
I mean,
I'm just saying
you
that
don't
this.
know like what he did or what she did.
Right.
She just got this question and it's so vague. That's why I don't really like because they didn't counteract a question with they didn't say, okay, why is he acting like this? What made this situation come about? Like, what did you guys come into an argument? Were you not doing the things that you were doing before, and then he noticed that, and he had mentioned that several times, and she just ignored it. I mean, there's so many nuances to this conversation and this question.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I like I said, Coach, man, you hit on most of the good points. If he would have came to her like she said to the audience, she should have asked him, well, what do you mean by that? One, he gives her, you're the good woman. I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to leave you. And she should have said, well, what exactly do you mean? What exactly do you mean like that? Can we flesh that out a little bit? What do you mean you don't want to hurt me?
From the woman's perspective.
I'm trying to. I mean, she can't have. Listen, if we're having a conversation, I say something to you that might be nebulous like that to me, and if you have questions, obviously she has a question. She's bringing it to tonight's conversation. So when he said that, how come she just didn't say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, in private, what do you mean by that? And then if he couldn't come correct and he started saying, well, I have a tendency to hurt women. As you're such a good woman, I don't want to be that kind of guy. Wait a minute. Then if he would have said that as a response to her asking a question, now that's fully fleshed out. This guy hurts women. You're a good woman, and the only reason why I haven't hurt you right now is because you're good, and I kind of like you. And I don't want to hurt you right now.
Go around saying I hurt women.
Well, listen, you missed the point. I said he says I don't want to hurt you. He said that. That's right. What he said. And I'm saying she should have said, well, what do you mean by that? And how he wouldn't say, listen, you know what? Every so often I leave a lot of bitter women in my way. I don't want to do that to you. Because and I don't want to
say that though without having to go into what he's saying.
No, what he said the first time doesn't give me all of that. It doesn't give me all of that. She obviously still has a question about what he said. That's why she's asking Ace metaphor. And she should have just asked him, what do you mean by that? So you can't jump to a conclusion that you don't really understand what the question is. And that's why she said she has some questions about his statement. And I'm saying, yeah, there might be some. Hey, listen, I tell guys, well, don't be leaving bitter women behind. Don't leave bitter women. That's not good practice. It's really not good practice.
I agree.
And so hurting women is kind of leads to leaving bitter women behind. I mean, even this was a joke, but even Derek Jeter, the baseball player, they said that he had all these girlfriends, but they went out of their way to come up with this kind of joke that he had gift baskets for them when he was finished with them. They would go to the bar. They would go to he would go and give them a gift basket. You know what? It was nice for a while.
A parting gift.
Yeah, here's a parting gift, baby. So he didn't leave no bitter women behind. You know, and that's what I'm saying. He had to actually come out and dispel that rumor. He says, I don't give out gift baskets because they said out of the trunk of his car. They were going back to the trunk of his car. He said, okay, we're done, so here's your gift. And that shit lived for a little while. And then he had to come out and say, hey, that's not true. I'm not giving out gift baskets. You know, but the truth part is you don't like to live, you should be leaving bitter women behind. So maybe this guy is one of those kind of guys who've had some women he hurt before. And that's what you're trying to say, because he mentioned it.
I just believe that when a man start off by saying you're a good woman and I don't want to hurt you, is that an intro to you telling me how you're going to treat me? Is that an intro to?
It's an intro to me telling you that I'm going to treat you as best as I possibly can because I don't.
Again, like Coach Ferg says, if it's the actions, show it. But to say those things when you don't know what the future, I don't know. I just have an issue.
You're sitting here telling a man he shouldn't express himself. That's essentially what you're saying.
No, express yourself. However, you can't really guarantee anything to anyone.
I can guarantee that I'm not going to hurt you on purpose.
Right. No one goes in to hurt on purpose unless you're a psychopath or a killer. So why say it? Why say I'm with you and I'm not here to hurt you? Of course you're not here to hurt, but that's what love is. Love is actually giving someone the permission to hurt you. And you as a couple have to figure out how to get through that hurt. But no one says, you're a good woman and I don't want to leave you. It's like, okay, thanks. But what are you setting me up for here? Like, what exactly are you explaining to me? Like you said, Arfane, explain it further.
Yeah.
But there's a lot missing here because we don't know him as a man. Like, did he come out?
We don't know him, but that's his girl, right? So she has to know a little bit. He had to have some receipts.
Right, but if she's questioning it, that means he's not being direct. And when a man wants to be with a woman, he makes plans.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be a list of 1, 2, 3. Maybe for some, it maybe is that. Maybe he has planned out his life in a way that when he finds a woman that she's just going to slip right up into them plans, right? But when a man wants to be with you and he wants you to be in his life, he's going to make plans for you to be there. So if this is a plan for me to be in your life and you're telling me that I'm a good woman and you don't want to leave me, okay, like I thought we both knew that. Like, but if it's I don't know if I'm ready for a woman like you, but I also don't want to let you go because that happens a lot. There are a lot of men who are not capable of being with a good woman because they're used to women who never tell them no. What a good women do have standards.
But let's stay right there. What you just said, you can interpret it the way you said that I'm not, willing to have a long-term relationship. I might be stringing you along, but again, based on what he said, she could have said, "Well, what do you mean by I don't want to leave you? Are we going to the next level in our relationship, or as long as this is good to you, we're going to just keep doing what we do in status quo?" I mean, that's a direct question. I mean, that's a conversation. Right. And so how he answers that question, whether he's truthful, and if he's not truthful, you might be able to tell that based on how he answers that, because now his back is up against the wall, and he's got to tell you the truth. I don't want to leave you because I have bigger plans for our relationship. I don't want to leave you because right now, because I'm not ready to make a decision. Now that's a shaky answer. And then depends on how many years you have in. And here's another thing. We don't know that even in a relationship. To me, did he ask her to be in a relationship, or is she assuming they have a relationship?
I don't know. She just said the man that she loved. Did she say?
Yeah, but
What do you do when a man you love tells you that he knows you're a good woman, but he doesn't want to hurt you or leave you?
Don't play that. Don't play Ace metaphor. She said the man that she loves. That don't mean they're in a relationship. She just loves him. Did he say, "Hey, you my girl"?
But that's what I'm saying, Arpine. Is a man who wants to be with a woman is not going to play no games with her. He's not even going to want another man to have the opportunity to be with her, so he's going to lock her down.
Well, okay, so we have to assume certain things about their relationship. That one, they're in a relationship, other than because women fall in love with men that they're not in relationships all the time. They think they're in a relationship. They're just a jump off, or they're just a rotational player, or all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, I just think that she missed an opportunity to talk to this guy further. Instead, she brought it to Ace metaphor, and he just went off. He just went off on half cocked. It don't even seem like he answered the questions she had on the table.
I think because he's a man and maybe he's done it before. Maybe
I think it's just Ace metaphor to panda bear. Because I don't. Listen, I hear you. It would have been nice to hear one of the ladies kind of answer. I think they would have.
The other girl, the Kitty said, "Run."
Yeah, and I would question what the hell, run from what? Because he told you that you're a good woman and I don't want to hurt you.
Take you through there. Take you through there.
You take it. We gonna take each other. Hey, listen, we take each other through there all the time. Come on. My wife is still taking me through there. It's been 38 years.
Yeah, but y'all are committed to one another. Y'all are committed to one another.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So every day. When you
I think we're in violent agreement with this whole conversation.
You acting like you choosing me, but you're not really choosing me. You giving me these words for me to think about and ponder on, but you're not really giving me any direction. Like I told you, I was with someone and he was like, "Oh, well, my personal issues aren't fair to you." Okay.
Oh well, that's straightforward. He told you, and
you're not fair to me, and because of what I want, I can't continue to be in this because you have issues.
Well, so let me ask you, how long did it take you to cut that off? A day that when he said it, or a week later, a month later, 6 months later?
Yeah, that's it right there. That's the number one question, Arpine. How long?
Longer than you should have, maybe.
Right.
No. If anybody know me, I don't know if y'all watching it there.
Oh, you moving like that, bro?
Okay, bye.
Okay,
it don't take long because when people say certain things, you have to hear the character come out of someone, and people can say very simple things, and their character comes out. And so, you have to, and we talked about it before. When you're joining with someone, your values have to align. And sometimes those values, you can hear those values within conversations and you just know, like our values aren't aligning in this, I like to communicate. He don't like to communicate, or, I like to do like the values that will keep the relationship long-term. I mean, a value of wanting to be in a committed relationship married versus wanting to be in a committed relationship unmarried, those are two different values.
I agree.
They're two different values. So I think that you go with what value you want, but at the same time, if someone is telling you that they can't do that, then what are you sticking around for? And I think that women stick around a lot more often or a lot longer. It really don't take long. If you're telling me that this is not what you want, I'm not going to keep engaging and spending time and energy and money, and that is just, I'm just not going to do it. But I also don't necessarily, I don't use men either, and there are women who use men, and so they will stick around because of what they're benefiting from in a relationship. So that hurts them too, because it's like you're staying in something where you're miserable, but you're being provided for in some type of way.
All right, so that was a good one.
All right, so this last one is a 2-part one. The videos are kind of long, so we'll probably just pause them at certain points. I'm gonna take this one off.
Okay.
Righty.
Our whole relationship, I trusted this.
Hold on.
I'm a 29-year-old woman and I've been with my husband for 9 years, and we've been traditionally married for almost a year now. Throughout our whole relationship, I trusted this man. I genuinely believed he could never do me wrong, but I found out he's been cheating on me with the woman he was training, and they've been in a situationship for 4 years. This woman is white. I am an African black woman. My husband even introduced me to her, acting like they were just friends because he has his own business. She would help him with administration and other things. He even invited her to church while they were still sleeping together. I had no clue.
What?
She became a member of our church and got very involved in our little community. Me and my husband got married in June last year, and she even came to our wedding. Girls, ask me how I found out.
How did you find out?
I'm scared.
Wait there. On Valentine's Day, me and my husband went out for dinner. When we got back home, he fell asleep on the bed with his phone unlocked.
Oh, Jesus.
That's always the gateway drug.
I have to add that my husband never let me touch his phone, and we had many arguments about that. So when I saw the opportunity, I took his phone into the bathroom and started checking his media. I found a video of my husband and his assistant where she was giving him oral sex.
Video!
I froze. I couldn't think straight. Immediately confronted him. He started apologizing and said it was a one-time thing. That it never happened again after that.
Sorry, stop there.
These African women tripping me out.
Do they think that we're dumb?
I don't understand.
So the
I think they think that we're dumb.
Yeah, that's so funny.
very first time you guys decided to do something, I also thought, let me bring out my phone as evidence. Are you alright?
When you bring out the phone, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've been there before.
What the hell?
Obviously, I was furious, but it was late and I had nowhere to go. The next morning, when it got light outside, I packed my bags and left. He kept apologizing, but I didn't believe him. My spirit kept telling me that there was more going on. I was so hurt and disappointed that I told him to go and confess to our pastor, especially because she was also a member of our church.
Child, assistant everywhere, okay? The assistant is everywhere. The gym, the church, the job.
He spoke to the pastor crying and shaking and made
My
everyone
mind is gonna cry.
crying and shaking and made everyone believe it only happened once. Meanwhile, me, the pastor, and the pastor's wife were trying to contact her. We wanted to hear her side too. She kept avoiding me, and one time she responded, she was arrogant and rude. Eventually, the pastor's wife got through to her and she repeated the exact same story my husband told us. Fast forward, I still wasn't over it, but the pastor encouraged me to believe my husband and give him a second chance since he was only a one-time mistake. So I calmed down and decided to try. Then one day I got an anonymous email. The person told me to open my eyes. They said my husband and his assistant had always been together even till now, that his car was constantly parked outside her house, and that women like me are often told to stay in toxic relationships because of the culture, beliefs, and history. The email said that if I wanted the truth, I should go and see for myself because he was there every day.
So that's part one.
That is so good.
I ain't laughing. Listen, bro. So, you know what's funny? Shout out to the black. Shout out to the. I'm gonna say shout out to the black woman. Y'all are the most revered woman in the world.
Okay.
These African women doing everything they can to look like a sister Bonquisha and her friends, sitting around a little coffee shop talking
The
shit.
wigs on, yeah.
It looks crazy.
Hey man, that chick with the phone.
Hey,
man.
they all look nice though, except the big.
She was a big girl, man.
Yeah, she
the
was a
whole
big
friend.
girl.
Oh my god.
Except their mother too. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, deliciously big. How about that? Okay.
deliciously I pay.
big.
Okay.
Deliciously big girl. If I add that to it, does it make it any better?
But the white girl, man, listen, man. Shout out to the white girl. She was moving. She was all listen. I blame the whole congregation.
Yeah.
It ain't even the whole congregation. She was putting herself in every place he was.
The wife is tone deaf, man. I mean,
yeah, I believe she lying though. I believe they kicked her out.
Let me do an equivalency. A male, a trainer, a heterosexual male trainer is the same as a female flight attendant or nurse. They're having sex everywhere. Okay. There's no way you're gonna be putting women in all these good positions. Some of them fine and all that kind of stuff, and she's sweating it out and grunting and all that shit. And you're a personal trainer, and if it's honeys, there's gonna be some shit happening. Okay, especially they had a movie years ago called Shampoo. It's an old movie. The guy was a hairstylist, and everybody in the movie thought he was gay. He was banging out the chicks and the wives. All through the movie, all the wives would go. If they were wondering why all the women wanted to go to his salon, right? All the married women. He's knocking about 2 at a time, man. It was a pretty good movie. So if you're a male trainer and you're in great shape, and you're working with women, they're gonna be naturally attracted to you. Period. It's gonna happen, So she should have known when she married him. He's in the lion's den every day.
Well, I mean, we don't know if he's been a personal trainer their entire relationship. I believe she said they were together for 9 years.
9 years is enough time.
Married 1 year, I believe she said.
It was going. I mean, I hear you, but if that was his profession, he had to be doing it probably for a while, right? To be certified and all that. Listen, all I'm just trying to say is, it's not a one-off that the white chick was with him. Then we could talk about whether it's more meaningful that she was white, or if it was just another sister, would that be okay? Or it's just because she was white, that's another issue. There's an extra added layer to the infidelity. It might be.
Yeah, it's an extra layer, I think. It's an
extra layer. It might be.
It's not another African queen,
right?
If it was another African sister, you wouldn't even had the story.
Yeah. And she was more mad probably about what the white girls.
The African ladies, they used to that.
The white girl, she probably had a serious technique too.
Yeah, she probably had that body. That's what he
liked. She had that body. The white girl magic on the jazz, come on.
And they have no gag reflex. They can make your whole.
All right.
I was in college. I played sports in college. Believe me, man.
Or I just.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Robbins over here.
We went full male. We went full locker room for a second. Sorry,
guys.
We apologize.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she's much better than that.
Oh man, Dad. Oh my God.
So yeah, in this first part, it's going through the phone, and Arpain is like you said, they've been together for a while.
Yeah.
They argued about her touching his phone before. So obviously you knew that you were going to find something.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You knew that you were going to find something. Mm-hmm. And then you do the Christian thing and you take it to the pastor and you get the first lady involved. And, if you married under God, try to do it God's way, right? Let's go to the pastor. Let's get some counseling for this mistake that was made. And the lady attends the church. She's very intertwined and has a lot of time with your husband. Again, the behavior that women take on of believing a lie when the truth is in the details. Do you have to go that far as to get the phone? And in the same breath, I'll say a lot of women do feel as though they have to go that far because a man, again, if you can't prove it, it didn't happen. No face, no case. You know,
Precious.
you can't. I was watching Divorce Court earlier while I was taking out my daughter hair, and the lady had proof of a video, but it was one of them Shannon Sharp videos where his face wasn't in the video, but it was definitely his voice and another woman, and he was like, I don't know what's going on in this video. You can't even tell what's going on in this video. And the judge is like, sir, that's your voice in the video. You know, so
That's me.
I believe that's why women go that far as, you know, as checking the phones, because it's like, I got to have some hardcore proof. You know, why is the truth and the details not enough for you to move on and move forward?
The details was already there, Precious. Our Pain been married longer than me. Him and his wife are in close proximity. They share their life. Precious. My wife asked me today, let me see your phone. Here you go. If I had to sit there and try to argue with her about a phone and we've been together, man, I don't know if nobody would, especially, I'll go back 10 years ago. You can go make a commitment with a woman and she asks for your phone and you never let her see your phone and y'all get, that's suspicion right there.
Well, you know, I like it better when me and my wife, we never ask for each other's phone.
But but what I mean, I pain is,
no, I know what you mean. I
like,
know. I'm
like
doing
hand me my phone. You know, like
I'm
your
doing
phone
you one
on.
better. What I'm doing you one better. When people in relationships these days, if you get to the point where you got to see the other person's phone because you have a suspicion, or you just check it, to me, I think that's, you know, I mean, I just never came close to looking at my wife's phone.
The sign is already there.
Right. I mean, because if I had to, that means I'm suspicious about something.
Right.
And that suspicion is would weigh on me more than me trying to find some information. I would confront her about that. You know,
Our pain.
It could be an insecurity. As a matter of fact, that just brought me back to the story that I told you guys about. A guy that I dated was looking through my phone. Someone he was in a long time relationship with, I believe, cheated on him with her trainer. Or no. It wasn't a trainer. It was like a salsa dancer or something like that.
Yeah. That's the best dance in the world.
Rumba together, you know, rubbing the hips and shit. Man, come on.
Our Pain, back in your day, could you have been able to hang out with another woman of the opposite race and y'all showing up in church together and she's showing up at, you know, places that could be sacred to you and your family?
Let me put it to you this. If I was with Jesus Christ in Nazareth, or back in my day, or in 2026, the answer is no.
Jesus Christ in Nazareth.
The answer is always no.
Right.
We would be getting jiggy with it at some point, somewhere.
Yeah, at some way. Yeah.
It's timeless. That's timeless. That has no time limit to it.
Yes.
You know, so listen, man. I think we complicate things too much. The lady, she actually forgave her husband. Now she wants to go get more proof. If she forgave him for seeing him, you know, being fellatioed,
right?
Now she wants to go see if he's hanging out with the chick every day. You know, and the church forgave her and all this.
So she got an email.
Yeah, she got an email.
Yeah, okay, somebody. That's right. Somebody's trying to break up their marriage.
Maybe.
That was probably her that emailed her.
You said someone's trying to break up their marriage. You don't think he's?
No. Somebody's trying to say, why are you forgiving this guy? It's not just a one time. It's more, right? So if she's smart, she knows. Listen, let me tell you. If a woman's giving you head, that's not a one time. That's not a one time.
It sure is not. No, sir.
It's not a one time thing.
No.
You know. So
that was the one time he saw it.
That's right. That's the lie. That was a one time thing. I said, come on, man. You know, stop it. You know, you guys are hanging out every day, or we're together. You're still her personal trainer.
Come on, man.
I couldn't.
She going to church. That's crazy.
Church.
Y'all know how personal church is to black folk. Come on,
she infiltrated herself into his life.
That's right. There you go. You said it.
Definitely integrated. And I think our Pain said is like the wife is like tone deaf.
Yes, I am.
But we're gonna get into part 2 to see why and how this all ends up.
Uh-oh.
I mean, fast.
I'm sorry, guys.
outside her house. Then another picture with a date and time. I confronted my husband and he denied everything. He said he will find out who sent it. Meanwhile, I started doing my own research. 3 days later, my husband called me in the morning saying that he found out who sent the email. He said that it was his assistant's ex, her baby father, and that he was on his way to her house to confront her so this whole situation could end. He also said that he had called the police on him and she was lying to the police. Meanwhile, he's been there since he lives there, but he was lying to me. Then he said he needed to speak to the police and hung up. 20 minutes later, his assistant called me from a number I didn't know. I answered. I heard it was her and I hung up immediately. She called again. I blocked her. Then she messaged me on WhatsApp from another number and sent me 2 files of conversations between her and my husband from 2021. I opened one and started scrolling. What I saw triggered me so badly that I called her immediately. That's when she told me everything. She and my husband had been in a relationship since 2021. And the worst part, my husband had been living in her house since 2024.
It's like, girl, how?
Traveled a lot because I have family and work in another European country. My husband had been lying to me for 4 years. Even after I found the first video, he was still lying to my face, lying to the pastor, lying to everyone. I sent all the evidence to the pastor, his wife and his sisters, and his best friend. At that point, I didn't care anymore. His assistant also ended up telling the truth to everyone, including the pastor. She admitted that the reason she never spoke up before because my husband was controlling her. He told her not to ask even told her to be rude to me. There were even times that me, him, and the pastor's wife were on a conference call trying to fix our marriage. He was even making those calls from her house while she was sitting right next to him. Everyone is disappointed in my husband. They both lied to me and they lied to our church. Now my question is, what should I do?
What should you do?
I can't think straight anymore. I want to leave this man, but it pains me so much because I feel like I would disappoint my whole family. I was the first one in my family to get married. My dad cried on my wedding day.
He'll cry
on the next one.
He'll cry again, Jerry.
Literally. What the hell?
The thought of this marriage ending hurts me because I feel like I'll disappoint my whole family. If you're in my situation, what would you do?
You'll cry on the next one.
On the next one. So, I mean, as a woman, you know, I don't understand why women get into this. I don't know if it's like a psychosis. I don't know what it is, but all the signs are there, and you still need to ask what to do.
She know what to do. She just don't want to do it.
That's right. That's right.
She got brain fart. Like she know he been cheating, and she don't want to pack. She don't want to. You know, he probably providing for her, and he probably doing what he want. You know, and she just content.
Well, I mean, she travels a lot, and so it doesn't seem like they spend a lot of time together if he's living with Becky.
Yeah, how's he living with her though? The one she sent her husband though?
No, I mean,
and how they going to the same church? Like when y'all get ready for church in the morning, what house you getting ready?
They're Africans.
Where are your suits at?
As Africans, it's not far fetched for a guy that I don't know what their tribe is, but polygamy and all that kind of stuff is not that crazy over there. I don't think. I know the westernized part of it is, but you know, so she could be wrestling with that. You know, if he could afford it. Listen, you know, Isaiah 4 chapter 4:1 says at some point women are going to be women are sharing men all the time. They just, you know, and so I just think that it might not be bothering her as much. And you know, we're not wired the same way women are. I mean, I don't think women have to accept cheating. They talk about it incessantly, you know. And the truth of the matter is they never really put the two squares together, because if most men are cheating, who are we cheating with? We're cheating with women, right? Mm-hmm. So that means a lot of women are cheating. So there's really there's an equivalency of cheating. I think women do it better than men, because their counterparts don't call a man up and say, hey, let's break up your marriage. But if you're cheating with a woman, she'll call your wife up in a heartbeat. So I mean, I just think this whole cheating thing is crazy. You know, to make it an issue, either a person cheating on you or not, you have to make a decision that you would. You have to make a decision whether you can continue to live that. I think we agonize over that too much, because there's also a level of acceptance with some women when their guy cheats, depending on where he's at on the wealth scale.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so I just, you know, it's crazy. Now that lady sounds like she was going to be able to accept the fact that his wife had an affair, her husband had an affair, but at the one time she saw it. But you know, what's she going to do? She still don't know what to do, even though she got all these people trying to tell her that he's a cad. Right? I don't know. I just think I think she should leave him, but then she's going to be out on her own.
And then you gotta deal with the side chicks, crazy ex that's taking pictures and sending anonymous emails, and like how does he even have your email address? Like
he's stalking them. He's stalking everybody.
You know, could he? It's like you didn't put everybody in danger now.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going crazy. He hearing that old African in that.
African, he's doing a long stroke with his cheek.
He done peeked through the window and everything. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, he said, "Oh my God, no, man." You listen, man. That's why, man. Ignorance is bliss, man. I don't know none of that shit, man. You know, because there's no path to forgiveness. Or there's no path to forgetfulness for a man. We can't forget. Even if we forgive, we can't forget. You know, so it's a bad thing. I feel sorry for the sister. But it's good to see these African sisters sitting down there speaking English and shit, the King's English, right? With their wigs on, their European wigs. Anyway.
All right, last video. I thought I put it behind here, but I didn't. Where is it? Here we go.
2 years ago, I came home at 6 a.m.
This is why we got to get rid of StreamYard, because, like, why? Why? Now, this one's crazy. Y'all listen up.
32 years ago, I came home at 6 a.m. after a night of partying with my girlfriends. I told my husband that I had gotten raped by a stranger that night. 2 months later, I ended up pregnant from that night. When I told my husband, he encouraged me to do what was best for me and said that he would not leave me. I kept the baby and I love my son. I'm glad I did because I never had any more children. The issue now is I was never raped. I had a baby with my husband's best friend. My son looks exactly like me. The reason this is coming out now is because my husband's best friend recently died and left everything to my son, although he did have a daughter. I'm completely heartbroken as we carried this secret and continued our relationship for 32 years. When the attorneys invited us to the reading of the will, my husband thought that it was odd. My husband will not let this go that my son just inherited a $426,000 estate. Do I tell him about the affair or do I go along with the letter that was left? In the letter, his best friend wrote, I always saw you as my son. I wanted to be able to provide the best for you. My son is just happy to have inherited the estate. My husband is confused by everything. What do I do?
Truth and lies, y'all. Well, men, what should she do?
I was going to say initially that wasn't his baby. And she said it. I was like, that ain't his baby, just because of the way she was telling the story. And I've been around black women all my life. They have a weird sense of when something really hurts them, they try to, it's like they really try to dismiss it altogether. If they don't really want something, they'll dismiss it, whether it's having a deletion of a baby, the fact that she made a decision to keep it, that's when I was saying, man, she didn't get raped. And here we are 32 years ago. Damn, look back on that age. Everybody was precious. You couldn't even walk across the street by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I had hair and everything. Our pain, man, he was slim, good chocolate brother. 3 a.m. We was 40 pounds lighter. You know what I'm saying? And now he's dedicated his life to a woman who was playing games the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just bad. I don't really.
Listen, man, let me tell you, man, if you're married to a woman and she's having an affair with a guy for 32 years,
that's just crazy.
Where were you at? One, it's a horrible scenario. I don't think that if I was married, take my wife out of it, and my wife got raped, and got pregnant, she'd have to. I don't care. I wouldn't be. I don't have enough grace to be the guy to watch her go through a whole pregnancy, even if she wanted to. And most women won't do that. Most women won't do it. I don't think. But if she did, I don't think I could be her husband. I don't think I'm gonna sit around and be. Because there's something in there that I just I don't think I would have that much grace. I'm being honest. I don't think I do. I don't think I could. Because that means there's something in that whole process that she found acceptable. And so I'm saying,
and if she knew all this time, then
the second part, if it wasn't a lie, if that was a lie, it doesn't make it any better because she's banging out my best friend now, and she's still carrying on an affair with the guy for 32 years or something. And I can't see a guy being married to somebody that can't find or feel the disturbance in the force.
Say it again.
The disturbance in the force. Between a man and a woman, right? There's a force. There's a, and you can't feel the disturbance in the force. That's why I tell people with my wife, right? I don't go overly crazy. We got a certain thing, synergy between. I think if she was cheating, cheating on some kind of long-term thing or whatever, I'd feel it. I believe I'd feel it. I really do. I really believe I'd feel it.
Well, men always say that women cheat better than men, right?
That's true. Women say that, Precious.
But say that. Let her finish. They do treat better. But what you going to say after that?
So my question is, would you really feel it, or?
Yes. I would. Here's two things. Women cheat better than men only because the guys they cheat with are not going to get on the phone to tell the husband.
Facts.
Right? So, when men cheat, a lot of times they get found out because the woman gets feelings and she goes out to try to destroy his relationship. Men don't do that. Well, so they'll bang out your wife forever because it's free box. They're not telling nobody. Right. So that's the point. But if you're close to your woman, if she's a casual cheater, maybe you won't know because there's a rhythm y'all set up between yourselves. So if she's cheating with somebody else, you could tell there's a different battle rhythm. She's setting up a sexual rhythm with the guy she's fucking. Excuse my language. And you're not a part of that. If you can't pick that up, man, you're crazy. You're crazy. So I just, and then and sometimes you're going to be in the mood, you're going to want stuff from her, and she's going to have to have some excuses sometimes because she's going to want to be with Brad. Right. So, I think I'd pick it up. I really do. I think I'd pick it up. I think we're close enough for me to figure that out. If I'm not, she would be in my own anecdotals. My wife would be the greatest cheater in the world. The greatest cheater that I would know in the world, because I've had girlfriends I know when they were cheating, and we ain't even that close. Difference.
That's the difference. And closeness in a relationship does take a lot of communication. Coach Ford,
you don't think you would feel that, Precious, if you were married to a guy, you're close, and he was cheating?
Oh yeah,
you would feel a disturbance somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if he was careful and all that kind of stuff, it just
Oh no, I think I could I'm able to read energy pretty well. I've been able to tell. I told a man before, I'm like, yeah, something not right with you. Like women can tell. Women,
you don't think men have that? You don't
telling
think
the rhythm of the actual act. You can tell. You could tell something's not right. You could tell something's off. You could tell something comes on their mind. You could tell when, you know, you could just tell. You can tell. So
well, you don't think men have that capability?
I think that men have it. I think it probably, well, they worked together for a very long time. I was going to say it depends on how long they were together. They were together for a very long time. Maybe he could have been in denial because that was his best friend, and maybe he didn't want to believe that, you know, his best friend was knocking off his wife. I don't know.
No, of course he didn't want to believe that. I'm just saying, even if it's just, I don't know. And then again, you know, I hate to do it anecdotal, right? Because I do know my wife. I don't think she could serve two masters.
Yeah,
she can't serve two masters. You know, because I know how her personality won't allow that.
Right.
You know, not that, I mean, if she had a one-off or something, that's one thing, and I can't see that. But to have a long-term relationship type affair kind of thing, I'd be a failure as a husband if that shit was true. Because I think I know her a lot better than that. You know, so I'd be kind of mad at myself that I was such an idiot. Yeah, I'm
saying. It's like, imagine sitting there listening to the reading of the will, and so this guy, no, she told him the story that she was raped, so he knew that there was no possibility that this child was his.
Right.
But to sit there and listen to the reading of the will and to hear that this child is inheriting a asset from your best friend,
right? No, and he obviously knows that he doesn't need any more information. He knows what was going on, right? If he doesn't know by then, with that hitting him in the face, that kid belongs to his friend and his wife lied to him all of that time. Again, at one point, I don't know how you forgive yourself for being such an idiot.
I don't know how a woman forgives herself for making up such a horrible lie.
I think women don't I don't think women have that much trouble lying to men.
Yeah, but to say that you were raped and now this is the, you know, the product of the grape and that wasn't even the case, like she's gonna have it coming one way or another. Life gonna catch up to her.
She done already made a decision. She already forgave herself years ago when she decided to have that baby. She forgave herself. She was like, "Hell, this is what I want. Hell, the hell with him. I can lay down with him and get up with him and have a baby. He's there, calling him his son. You know what I'm saying? Treating him better than, you know what I'm saying? Most adults claim they didn't get treated when they were young. In fact, that now that he's gone and, you know, I mean, it's just sad.
But here's a twist, though. Here's a twist. The guy accepted the kid from a grape situation, so he knows the kid's not his.
Right.
Yeah. So when they read it in the will, he might have just said, regardless of who the father is, I know it's not my son. Maybe it might not. He'd be more mad at his friend for the betrayal than his wife for the lie.
She betrayed him too. That's crazy.
No, but what I'm saying is that he probably would be. The kid is 32 years old now, or whatever. He's not going to stop loving his son because he already knows it's not his kid.
Yeah.
You know, and so in whatever relationship they have, you know, his son probably would be more upset at his mother for the lie, not more upset, but as upset that she told that lie for a long time as well.
Yeah.
You know, unless she told him and he never said it.
I can see that.
It's the best friend's child. Did the child not spend time with the family? Like the rest of the family? Or was it just like, oh, this my best friend's white
how often was the best friend over in those settings?
we welcome to come to the family functions too, because we been friends. Also, who else knows about this?
The aunts, all the aunts know.
All the friends and
all the aunts and all the
women know.
They
all
all
the
know.
women know. Yeah.
They absolutely all know because they say,
They know, Precious. You know,
that's Jim Boy's son, man. I can look at him.
Yeah, it's Nug Nug's son.
Yeah. The only person who don't know is the husband. He's sitting there all fat.
She lying. Precious, she lying. Most kids' sons, if they eat the mans, they look just like that big headed dude.
All the women know.
He look just like our daddies, and we act like our mamas.
All the women know for sure, man.
Precious, you look just like your daddy. Exactly, you look just like your daddy. We all do.
I act just like him too. It's a lot of, a kid. You can't hide a kid. You can't cover up a kid, even if you do say that it's great. The person that the kid belongs to know that that's his kid. And I'm sure that, it reminds me of Divorce Sisters. I don't know if anyone in the chat actually watches that show. She didn't say that she was great. She and her husband were going through IVF, and they thought that the husband's sperm and her egg was done through that IVF process when she really slept with his best friend, and is really spoiler alert, is really her husband's best friend's baby. And season 2 is gonna be juicy. But it's almost like the same thing. Like the husband don't even know, and Divorce Sisters, the husband doesn't even, he suspected it was the pastor. He didn't suspect it was his best friend. He didn't even look at him twice, like, is it you? You've been banging my wife? Like, didn't even look at him. And the best friend around, let me go pray for Anika. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do this. He never even thought.
Just so low. Like, if I shake a man's hand, I would never touch his woman.
Facts.
That's a real man. There are some men who don't care.
Jesus Christ.
The divorce court again earlier. The guy said, "Oh, I gave my friend my phone to he's married, but I gave him my friend to talk to somebody else because he was interested in somebody at the party." And it's like, excuse me, let's go
Precious.
back. You know that your friend is married, and you gave him your phone so he could go talk to somebody else.
Precious, you know who's sleeping around? The women know who's sleeping around on both sides. They know what man is pounding out the women, and they know the ladies who are sleeping around. They just hide it. The people, we in a circle, we would know who's doing what. Because we together. Every time we together, man, you run off somewhere. Dang, Precious, every time he come around, y'all disappear.
Yeah.
You ain't going with nobody you don't like.
Yeah.
So when women know on both sides, they know this man was the baby, or the father of the baby. They know she was sleeping with the friend. It's crazy. All right, Precious. You know your friends who was out there.
I got 2 friends.
And you had to clean it up because the other ones was running around. I'm just saying, they know.
Very small circle. I don't. People live their life, live your life. I'll watch from afar. But yeah, that one is, to me, honestly, in my opinion, I don't understand how people can live their life living in a lie. Okay. I a lie can feel comfortable for but so long, and the only person that knows that it's uncomfortable is the person who's lying, right? You can make it look cute, you can make it look sweet, but at the end of the day, your soul is.
But is that true though, Precious? A lie could be the burden that you carry, and if you carry it long enough, that wood wears. I mean, it wears. I mean, the burden is just your life now, and it'll fade off into the woodwork, right? So I mean, I don't know if it like weighs heavier, there's a lot of people who take shit to their grave. They just do. And so I don't think it's that hard. But I don't think it's that hard for some people to lie and keep
I think people make it look easy, but they unresolved emotional stressors become physical sicknesses. They do.
If you're being stressed out, look in this situation we just had. The lady, she's reading somebody else's story, but it sounds like that lady wasn't stressed about it at all until it got hit. She lived her whole life. She told a lie, and the lie should have been a stressor because she wanted to get pregnant by this. She got pregnant by the other guy, and she lived with it, and it became stressful again at the will thing because now the secret is out there.
Mm-hmm.
But the 32 years in between, it sounded like she was just living her life and living the lie.
I agree with you. I think that there are, I don't think that for the whole 32 years she didn't wrestle with it, because women are so in their heads that, every stage and phase of that child's life. I mean, come on, graduations, was we all just there? Graduations and the first of everything, first steps, first this, first that. It's like, how did you incorporate him with him only just being a best friend to your husband? Like, how was he incorporated in the child's life throughout the child's life? That's what I would have wanted to see. Like, how did you incorporate the father, the biological father, in his son's life while still maintaining marriage and your best friend being around you and your husband? That to me is just like so many things that happen within the span of 32 years and so many stages in life that a child goes through, especially a little boy.
But you know how she did it, right?
Probably be a little bit easier, kind of, because it's like, all right, mom got to take care of most of the nurturing and all of that, but a little boy.
But just think about it. There's guys, and with no nefarious things, there's a lot of sons who, if their father had brothers and stuff like that, there's a lot of sons that were really close to their uncles.
Mm.
And they hang out and stuff, especially if their uncles have boys and stuff around. And so she could have played it off that way. This is a best friend, it's just another male figure, and you can hide it that way. And so, he stayed in this lane.
Maybe he could have been the godfather.
That kind of stuff. Yeah. Nefarious people know how to be nefarious. I mean, it's just simple.
Yeah, you're right. Because unfortunately, there are some women who don't care about ruining men's life. There are some women who don't care about lying about things like this in order to keep their deep, dark secrets to themselves. So unfortunately, you're right.
Yeah. So the only thing I would say is the saving grace is that he already knew the kid wasn't his. So it wasn't paternity fraud from that standpoint. I think it would have been worth it.
His friend is dead, so it's not even. You can't even be mad. Like you can't even. You can't even have a man to man.
Right.
Yeah,
that's over. That part is over. You can't even be mad at the guy. You went to his funeral.
So do you stay married to? Oh wait, he still don't know because she did contemplating telling him. I was going to say,
you know what? At that point, I'm just sitting down here thinking, if I put myself, and I don't know about you guys, maybe this is a good exercise. Putting all those things together, I knew the kid wasn't my son, so it wasn't straight paternity fraud. Right. If I was able to be the kind of man who could stay married to a woman with a grape victim, a graper's kid, there's not too many things that would get me upset after that. Just think about the kind of man you would have to be to stay married to a woman carrying a graper's kid and then raising it. You're not the average bear already.
Yeah.
You are not the average bear. You're just not. Because for me, I don't even know if I have the agape love to be able to do something like that.
Right.
So I'm a different kind of guy. So when I found my son got $400-something after a lifetime of raising him, knowing that he's a rapist kid, I'm not so sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not so sure how I'd be really impacted. I really don't. I really don't. I would say I was living in grace for so long.
Yeah, but it's your best friend's 400 and something $1,000.
No, but he's giving it to my son. I mean, what I'm saying is,
Are you saying that you would think it's more so like pity or?
no, I'm just saying. Oh no, here's why I'm trying to articulate this best. I'm saying if I accepted how this began,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm living in grace because I raised a kid that's not mine, but as a child of grape. And my wife made a decision to carry it to term. And I'm saying that my wife made that decision not because I don't know whether she's some religious person, because most women would probably get rid of it. Right? Because that's not for so, and she kept it. And I said, okay, if you keep it, I'm gonna help you raise. We're gonna raise it as our own. And if I could do that, and then I find out 32 years later, I just don't know, because that 32 years I'm living under a lie that she was great.
That's what I was going to say. Like you're living underneath the.
But as far as I'm concerned, but it's a lie, but only because I found out. But I was living under grace because I had grace for the kid and my wife, and I raised the kid. Like I said, I'm not the average guy if I do that.
But
I'm not the average guy. I'm ready.
The average guy would do that.
The average guy would be gone. I don't think the average guy is going to.
I think the average guy would take the same approach you take. You see now and is older, right? Because again, you didn't know.
I don't think the average guy would have been able to exist past the pregnancy.
Well, I don't believe, because that's a part of that empathy that she went in for. She went in for that. Oh, woe is me. And
let me ask you directly, not with your wife, but if a situation happened, a woman came to you, you're married to her, she's carrying a rapist baby. Could you be the father? Could you?
At that time, like I said, I don't know. 32 years ago.
Already married? If you're already married?
Anytime.
I'm married to a woman and a. I mean, now today, hell no. Back then, like you said, if I had to go through that like a guy, and then here we are 32 years later, I done raised the son. Today,
I guess I'm not articulate. I don't care what the time frame is. Just say you were the man 32 years ago, and your wife, not your wife, a fictional wife came up to you and say, Ferg, I got raped and I want to keep the baby.
I mean, the grape is, and see, I've always believed in, okay, grape is a bad thing. So if you got grape and me, I'm saying, let's go down to the police department.
She wants to keep the baby. Let's pass the police. Okay, they got involved.
But I'm looking at that like, where are the charges? Because if you don't file charges, then I start asking questions. That's me.
I need to know the validity.
Yeah, I need to know that you got grape for real.
Okay, let's just say she did all of that, right? Let's just say she did all of that.
Then I'm gonna have empathy. I'm gonna be like, maybe I could raise the son, but
okay, so you're a better man.
But as far as like,
I could do it.
Heartbeat, and you're a better man.
I don't think I could do it.
This happens. Well,
you probably raising my pain.
I don't think I could do it.
Did your empathy kick in? Like,
why couldn't you do it? Let's dig a little deeper.
I mean, I don't think I would want to listen. First of all, I'm the kind of guy I want my own children. Mm-hmm. I wanted that. I've dated women with kids before, and nothing against them. Some of them were really nice ladies. And I was honest. I just didn't think I wanted to raise somebody else's kid. So I know the traumatic situation she might be under. If she wanted to keep a kid, which is her choice, her body, her choice. I'm not going to try to force her to have. But if we don't have any kids already, if we had kids, maybe I have to think about it. But we don't have no kids already. I'm saying, you know what, you can, family will take care of you, and we can make it. I don't think I'm just being honest. I don't think I want to sit there, go through the 9 months of pregnancy. You're going to have some mental issues you got to deal with because you're carrying a rapist kid. That thing can't be free, right? There's got to be some mental parts of that. Mm-hmm. The kid comes to term, and I guess once the kid starts wiggling and googling and goggle eye, everybody kind of falls in love. I can dig that. So I just don't know if I could. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm thinking I couldn't do it. I just thinking I couldn't do it. Just looking at my wife every day, just growing big, and rubbing and having the kids kicking, and she's all googly. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I would break down.
You're supposed to know what your limits are. I would rather someone say I can't do it than try to do it, and you can't really
not do it. Yeah. So I'm just trying to be honest. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I might be able. I might, but right off the surface of my head, I said, "No, that's just a bridge too far from me."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
look, your
Yeah.
your boundaries and how far you gonna go is totally up to you.
Yeah, and then of course there's some reasons why some women won't get the deletion, and you have to even respect that, even under those circumstances. If it's like a bound and religious or something like that, and she said, "Listen, I'm stuck now. I can't get rid of it."
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a SUV fan. I don't know. I watch SUV Law and Order.
Yeah.
And of course, Olivia Benson is a child of Grape. Like they have those. So it's funny because every so often some episodes deal with that.
This is a good question right here by the Real Black Lexicon. Hey, thanks so much for being here. He says, why he did not have his own with her is a curiosity to me. That is a good question. Like,
it sounds like she might have had complications. That's the only one I had. So it might have been something that went wrong after that. Or if it was her choice not to have any more kids. Well,
she didn't really get great. Let's remember that. This is a lot.
Okay, so she was able to have a kid.
She had a child with his best friend. So everything's working fine and cool and collective,
So she could have had another one.
That is a good question. Like, why did she have another child? And it could have been,
her husband was a simp, man. Her husband was just a provider. He was just there to give her what she needed, but she didn't want the love. She didn't want his love or his seed.
Or maybe, let's say that. I was going to say, well, maybe, unfortunately, when women really go through those experiences, she lied about it. So now you got him in a whole mind frame of a trauma that you didn't even go through, right? But in his mind, or when women go through sexual trauma, it's hard for them to get sexual
back to sexual,
with whoever they're having sexual relations with. And with him, he could take it as, I don't want her to have any type of crazy flashbacks or
32 years.
I know that is a long time. I mean, life happens. After women got a clock, so her clock.
Yeah, I guess I hear you. She was dastardly no matter what, but I don't know. But from the man's perspective, there's a lot of different perspectives. The woman herself, she was dastardly. That's it. The man had to go through some things, and the son finding out, if he didn't find out until the reading of the will, he has a part to play in this too. Because at a 32-year-old man, his feelings are going to count.
We talking about the son. We didn't even talk about this. Does the boy know that his daddy did?
When did he know? Right? When did he find out that was his father? And if he didn't find out,
he didn't know.
Well, he does now. When he still might not know. So he might just be saying, "Well, my uncle, my godfather loves me. My godfather loves me."
Yes, this is what happens. When you lie,
the woman's not going to tell.
Because now you involving so many different people, and both 3 a.m. and I know, as far as this man could have adopted this boy, and made it legal, and so now the boy don't even really know the truth about his origin. He around his biological father all this time growing up and thinking this is his godfather or his uncle, or just his dad's best friend.
Yeah, it's a good assumption that the father adopted the baby. No doubt about it. Gave him his name. But listen, listen. You made a good point there, though. I don't think she would tell. I don't think she would come clean.
No, I don't even know why she asked this question to the forum. I don't even know, because at the end of the day, I believe you are paying, and what you said with her being very comfortable living with this lie for so long, that maybe she needs to entertain some type of inner voices she's hearing, about the situation. Because like I said, I don't care who you are. You can be the best liar in the world. You're going to wrestle with it. You're going to wrestle with it somehow, some way. It may be a very literal wrestle with it. Like you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't, your stomach tight, you can't, or it may be just in life, period. Other things are just not going the way that they should be going for you, because you can't be honest in a certain area of your life that actually brings life, that brings on, new things for you, new energies in your life to bring things towards you. So I think that she is very comfortable in it. And yes, it's an uncomfortable situation of knowing that his best friend left her son this estate, but I don't think that she, will tell, because the lie that she made up for it's a lie that is believable and can no longer be proven if it's true or not.
Gosh, man, it's just too much. Can you imagine how much truth you got to go back and say, no, I wasn't really great. I lied from the beginning. Your son's not you. I mean, the truth
Too
there.
much unraveling.
Huh?
Too much unraveling for her.
I think the truth would hurt more people than the lie. But I mean, the ignorance would be bliss in this thing. I think sometimes when you want to absolve yourself of a lie, and you tell the people who are in your orbit who might get hurt by the truth, I think that's almost as unfair by putting that burden, the burden of that truth on them. Because now, while you're unburdening yourself, you're burdening in these people with the truth, and the value of that truth at that point, 32 years later, is not that valuable. It's not as it's
for who?
I don't think it's not, certainly not for the husband, not for the dead man, maybe for the son. I don't know. And he might be really mad.
He's gonna have a family one day, okay? Like we gotta act like we have to.
For the son, if he has a family, you want to be able to trace the roots properly.
Yeah, like we gotta be honest. Even if it was a grape, okay, it was a grape, right? He will grow up and say, you know what, I've been around you. I mean, he may say, you know what, you've been in my life so long that I don't want to, know exactly where I come from or anything like that. And nobody really wants to know the rapists and their family. However, there are some people who get curious. There are some people who go behind your back and, try to find out things and truths that you're not saying. Kids are very smart and they observe, and they could, every time I was around this guy, it just felt like we were, connected, and I was just so close to him. And, there's ways around it. It's just the person that it will affect the most is the actual child that you lied on, like that you made up the lie for. So, yes, the son could do one of those tests, but again, the root of the lie is that she was raped. And so will the son want to look up and see who his family is from that side of the family? Maybe he never will, because of what the mom lied and said the situation was, and it really wasn't. The sad part is he got some real live relatives, that are still living, although his biological father has passed away. And it's like, these people know? Like, the truth will always come out, even if you don't tell it.
That's true.
Well,
it could. Yeah,
you're in control of a situation, because the situation can always get bigger than you. It can always grow bigger than you. There's always other people involved in this lie as well. So, her having this baby and thinking it's innocent, can't talk, don't nobody know the situation, the best friend not saying nothing, we're gonna be good for a long time until the dad dies. And then what? Nobody probably foreseen that. And he say like he was sick for a long time, and say he was going through hard, like he just died.
Yeah.
You know, can you really predict that future while you lying?
Unless you was
You know, can you do that? No. So why should have told the truth up front? Our pain as far as who will the truth help at this point? I really don't think that the truth is going to help anyone if she keep lying. The truth can't help anybody if you keep lying because the truth never gets revealed. So, you know, I think that at some point, I don't know what point that is. And I always say, tell them young, tell them early. But at this point, the man, 32 years old, I think that she should come forth. And you know how people like to be on their deathbed, child. It ain't going to be till she on her deathbed. Okay. And that child has already enjoyed that $400 and something thousand estate and got
she gonna wait till she get us split first. She gonna get her little trims off of it.
Well, she don't get none. Shoot, unless he give it to her.
He gonna give it to her.
Well, the New York Knicks has taken game one.
That's right. That's right. In fine fashion, I might say.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good game, man.
Yeah.
Was it a blowout?
No, it was close, but
Just a good game.
Well, it was a good game, but it's a 10-point win. So at the end, the Spurs spread it out at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's early. It's early, but you had to win one in San Antonio. They had to win one. Anyway, so other than that, you know, I mean, this is a good show. I mean, there's a couple of good questions. You know, the African chicks were tripping me out. You know, the one reading the thing, I said, man, you fit the whole screen, baby. You know, I said, man, I know I'm a big guy, but the whole screen, you know.
It was a tight shot.
Yeah, it was a tight shot, you know. But yeah, you know what? That's all right. She was,
you know, I always say that. Well, I remember my mom always say, you know, the truth is easier to remember because once you tell a lie, you got
to keep telling it.
To remember the lie and remember who you included in the lie. So a 32-year lie is crazy.
It's diabolical. So it's
the origin and how she made up the lie. I think she thought it was a soundproof way that no one would ever find out. And him being gifted this estate is definitely throws up a red flag that everyone is, because now people on his side of the family gonna be like, child, you know little Chris, you know that's Chris baby. You know that's Chris baby. You know how black folks are.
Maybe that was his way of getting back at her for not wanting to come clean about the kid. So I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna leave him all my stuff.
I mean, women, as much as women follow behind other women, there are women who don't like when other women just take advantage and, you know, lie or paint a picture out to be what it's not, to hurt innocent men. Like that is just there is a small amount of women who don't like that, and there are people in your family that's not going to play about you, right? So there's probably somebody in his family that's like, all right, she done is going on for way too long, and now he done got a piece of the pie. Yeah, he's family. We need to let the family know. The family, my husband, okay? We need to, like they said.
Well, let me also say that if he didn't leave any of that money to his
daughter,
family, his daughter, whoever else, this could be a contesting on the will.
Ooh,
yeah,
yes, sir.
that's what I'm saying. It's going to open up a can of worms.
Yeah, a can of worms.
Yeah. You know, and then what is the wife? I mean, what is the wife or the mother of the son going to say?
At some point, she's going to have to
She's
come.
going to get pressured.
Right. She's going to have to come clean. Well, there you go.
So, you know, when you decide to lie, you got to count the cost, because you don't know who or what you're dealing with. Someone can turn on you in a heartbeat and turn your whole world upside down because you decided to lie, cheat, deceive, withhold the truth. You know, when we talking about relationships and having other people's lives and whole futures in the medium. We gotta be careful with how we're, you know, dispersing these lies and how
It's so messy, man. That's really messy.
yeah.
Well, that's just the way it is.
All right, guys. Well, I wanted to expose some lies here. I wanted to, you know, bring before you when the behavior that a woman takes on when she believes, you know, things that are not true and can't see the things that are true. These behaviors, we really need to work on these behaviors, because day to day seems monotonous, but then you look back and you're like, okay, it's been 3 years or it's been 4 years. What am I doing? And I don't think that people cut the cord quick enough. I might cut it too quick, but you know, we'll work on that. But but yeah, I wanted to bring this to you guys today. Next week, we'll be live Wednesday here at 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't hold on. Okay, no, I'm thinking about a week after, because when is Father's Day? When is Father's Day?
Is there such thing as Father's Day?
Yes, there is. Stop it. We believe in fathers still here.
Father's Day is a thing of the past. Well, anyway. Hey, listen, let me ask you before you go. If you ever get a chance to see Truth After Dark with Azar and Paul Pierce, it's they had Corey Holcomb on there. So Paul Pierce has a lady on there, and she's like, you know, feminist de jour, right? And so Paul Pierce and Corey Holcomb are having like straight men talk, right? And she's in the middle, and she's having such a hard time keeping her composure about what, you know, Corey is saying and how he's saying it. It was really something, man, to see.
You might have to send it to me. I'm gonna
also, you know, I put it on our group thing. The link.
Oh, you did?
It's just a couple of days ago. It says Truth After Dark with Paul Pierce and Azar, Azar.
Okay.
And she's been around, so they share podcasts, and I think the link is in there as well. If not, I'll send it again.
I'll check it out.
It's good stuff.
And I may have seen it. I just probably don't recognize the names and the title.
Oh man, she was having such a hard time. I mean, it was so funny because she kept her composure, because, you know, Corey is if there's a man who's a misogynist by real kind of misogyny, you know, adjacent, because I don't think he hates women, but he definitely has a place for them, which would be called misogyny in some places. He was really laying it on thick. It was really good. She was having such a tough time
next week.
She was having a tough time.
Yeah, maybe
I know Frank said he might have tried. He was thinking about doing a reaction video to it. I don't think he did. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, we might have to go over it next week, and you might have to resend it because
I'll resend it. No big deal.
All right, guys. Well, it is almost Thursday, Friday's Eve, and so enjoy your weekend. I believe it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend this weekend. So enjoy your weekend. Be safe. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Try to join us on Tuesday night. We're gonna have a guest on our Adoptee Foster show, so try to get support us. Thank you, Coach Ferg. You always, you know, show up, engage in the comments for a little bit, so I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
I like who y'all had there last week. I was like, yeah, let me.
We have. We have a adoption therapist. She's an adoptee, and so we have that next week. And then the week after, we're gonna have a whole panel of like adopted parents.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
That's cool.
So hopefully,
I'm gonna come in there and be everybody's cousin. Be everybody's cousin.
Might be some relation. You just never know. I saw a video of a guy and a girl. They look young. They look like they were probably early 20s. Long story short, the girl was pregnant, and they found out that they were brother and sister when they went to a family function. And, you know, not to turn this into the adoptee show, but that's why I tell people to, you know, you got to tell these people early. You got to tell them early that they're adopted, because people live their life. You know, you grow, life happens, life is going to happen to you and for you. And the things that happen are happening around you. If you have no knowledge, you have no knowledge. So you're going in completely, you know, blank slate. And, you know, to be having a child with your brother, it's crazy. You know,
So, Precious, what would be a good age for someone to relay that information? If based off you and 3 a.m., if y'all was to say, this is, I have to do this to someone, what
the
would be a good age?
earlier, the better. The earlier, if the child can, you know, say, mommy, I want some cookies. The thing is not the age. It's not really, it's not, I think people are hung up on like, okay, what's the age? What's the age? What's the age? That's always a question.
Maturity.
Yeah, but telling someone they're adopted is not a one-time thing.
Right.
You know, it's not a one-time occurrence. Like, oh, you're adopted. All right, happy Wednesday.
Right.
You know, it is an unpacking. It is a
continuous conversation. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
It's a soothing. It's a comforting. You know, continuously. So, like when Arpain was saying, I don't know if I could raise. You know, I honor people who are honest about that. You know, because you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're walking into. So I just think that you have to have the verbiage. You have to surround yourself with child psychologists, child therapists to know how to actually have the conversation. Because when we as people don't know things, we become anxious, we become insecure, we don't, you know, show who we are to the fullest because we're unaware, uneducated, and so we shrink ourselves. Well, when you're dealing with a parent and a child dynamic, the parent is not necessarily going to shrink themselves, but they're also not going to give you what you need because they failed to get the education to give you what you need. Like, you know, so the age is always a question. Like, what age should you tell a child that they're adopted? You should tell them when they know how to say a handful of words, and you're not even, you know, telling them, you're sharing with them who they are. You're not telling them anything. You're sharing with them. So, you know, that's, I think, what people need a little bit of assistance with. You know, how do I share this? Not what age should I share it, because you should share it, period. It's how should I share this? How should I go about doing it? What conversations should we have? What should the environment be like? And honestly, you can't plan a lot of things. You know, you can't plan like the video we played yesterday. The woman, her 7-year-old daughter, the mom was adopted. Her 7-year-old daughter is her biological daughter. And she goes, Mom, if grandma didn't have you, then how did you get here? That's the 7-year-old. She's 7, okay, 7 whole years, asking her mom, her adopted mom, this question. Her adopted mom was like, this is above my pay grade. I don't even know how to answer the question. And so I think that's where the lack is, of not knowing how to. And it's okay to not know how to, but it's not okay to continue to not know how to with a child who's going to have questions and insecurities and identity issues. All right. Oh wait, hold on. All right, I clicked on the all right, because I want to watch it. But if I don't want to lose. I think when we get out of here, I lose this back chat. So thank you, Arpain.
I sent it to your I also sent it to your Instagram.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Message.
All right. So we're gonna get up out of here, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And until then, be real with yourself so you can be real with someone else. You guys have a great evening.
Good evening. Later.
Have a good one.
Good one.
Peace out.